The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you tap into their new Pick 8 that will give you up to 325 times the amount you put in, and use that promo code NBA SGPN. That's NBA SGPN to claim a special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get the best data-driven props and picks from Rhythm. Claim your 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really, bro. Villain, bro. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. All right, we had 4 games on the slate today, and it was a lot going on. Camp Day in Dallas. The Dallas Wings finally get back on the slide and snap that, what was it, 12-game losing streak? I think
it was a lot. Felt like 50.
Felt like a lot, but they snapped the losing streak against the Minnesota Lynx. And I mean, Odyssey Sims in her debut, 18 points off the bench. Odyssey, I don't know why they always cut her. Like, they always cut her before the end of the year. Then they end up bringing her in, and then she starts balling. Like, why don't you just keep her on the roster? I've never understood that. But Odyssey Sims gives this Wings offense a huge boost that it needed as the Wings take down the Lynx 94-88. We weren't on them, but I did say that I was questionable. I was very questionable, and I wouldn't lock up that game, and I'm glad I didn't. Aces already went final against the Sky 95-83. They cover the 11. They're 10.5, 11, wherever you got it. I believe they covered all numbers. I don't think this ever got over 12. Yeah, it never got over 12. So they covered all numbers there with the Aces in the second half surge. 31 points for Asia Wilson. That Asia over 26.5 cashes rather easily. Jackie Young, 22 on 7 of 13 shooting. 8 of 15 shooting for Kelsey Plum, and she adds 21. This Vegas offense looks like it's clicking again. Point guard 8, 6, and 5 in the game. Angel Reese had 18 and 11. I mean, still doesn't matter. She's just that good. She's just that good. She's gonna continue to find ways to be effective. She had 5 offensive rebounds in that game. So Mabry, 21. She cashed a 2.5 plus 3-pointers for us. She cashed the 15.5 points. Kenny Carter still cashed her 15.5 points. I mean, it's looking good, man. It's looking good. And then we have the Connecticut Sun, who are tied with the Mystics in overtime, 84-84. And what? They've only scored 2 points. It's only been 4 points in this overtime. So we'll see how this plays out. But the Connecticut minus 9.5 and the parlay looks like it's going to die with the Sun here, because I don't have faith that they cover 10 in overtime. However, it's been a bloody episode, last episode for the picks. I missed my dog early. Natasha Howard had her for a double-double. She actually finished with 6 and 6. So that didn't come through. Nafis Collier for Scott. Well, I'll let Scott tell it. Scott's still here, Reichel people. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Damn Camp Day. Yeah, Camp Day killed me. Simply put, it was a pretty annoying loss with Collier. I know that she kind of cruised over. I think she had 10 either before the fourth quarter or right before early fourth quarter, before the fourth quarter, but it really was one quarter. She had 1 rebound in the first 10 minutes, then had a rebound with like less than a minute to go in the first quarter, and then had like 6 rebounds in the second quarter. And then she went back to having like 1 in the third and like 2 in the fourth. So yeah, she had 1 extreme outlier quarter for rebounds, and that sent her over. She finished with 11, so lost that one. for the dog, I ended up actually getting the opposite script as I picked the Wings to win the first quarter and the Lynx to win the game at like plus 310. And instead, the Lynx won the first quarter and the Wings won the game. So I accidentally misread the script that I had on that game, but unfortunately picked up a loss. So I ended up getting the reverse sweep. Not ideal, but either way, yeah, not fun.
I'm over here hiding a reply on Twitter because somebody tried to jinx my live bet of Sun minus 5.5. So I had to hit hide. You guys know I'm horrible with the jinxes. Like I hate jinxes. I can't do it. I have bad nerves. But we still got one game on the slate and we got one play. Now we lean on the Storm. I mean, we're all looking for the Storm to save our day here. Going up against Indiana later tonight, but we're not here to talk about that game. We're here to talk about the games on Friday and a game on Saturday. We'll see if we'll get another. Well, I don't think we're going to get another line for the other game on Saturday, but we'll see. Before I do that, I do have something to talk about. But before that, if you're on X, Twitter, whatever we want to call it, just slide over to YouTube. Go to youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast and just watch from the YouTube chat. Don't hinder yourself watching on X. Go over and watch on YouTube. And matter of fact, you've got some time to do that because I'm about to do a read. And first thing I got to talk to you about is the Mothership Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. They've started their top 10 fantasy football preview series. QBs and tight ends episodes are already out, and they're going to drop the wide receiver and running back episodes soon. So it's never too early for the National Football League. So make sure you tap into the Sports Gambling Podcast. All right. Here we are. I am back. I hope our YouTube audience has grown from the people that are watching on X, and they've slide over to YouTube and help boost the YouTube numbers as much as we like X. And I continue to post there because we continue to want to get the audience out there. Once you find us on X, now you go and then you go and you head to YouTube and you lock in with us on YouTube because that's where all the fun is at. All the fun is on YouTube. All right, Scott. First game up on the docket for tomorrow, Friday, June 28th. The Atlanta Dream are on the road to play the Connecticut Sun, who are in an overtime game right now. and they're up 1 in an overtime game with 1:52 left to go. So quite possibly this could be a double overtime game. Connecticut Sun are laying 8.5. 153.5 is total here. Didn't see any injuries pop up for the Sun in that game. The Atlanta Dream, I see Ryan Howard is still out. That's it.
But they didn't play today, so they have a rest advantage no matter what.
Yeah.
I can't lay this. They might go to double overtime. I can't lay this.
Yeah, but are we back in the Dream to actually score?
I think I have to. I just think it's a terrible spot. I can't take Connecticut. Connecticut's a team that we saw struggle against the good teams, which was expected. Lost to the Aces, lost to the Storm, and now they're on the verge of losing to the Mystics. I'm good. I know it's not a long travel, but they are traveling from DC.
I mean, they haven't lost yet.
No, my point is, though, that they've been struggling, to say the least, tonight, and we thought it was a nice get-right spot. So I don't like the current form of the Sun team. Yes, the Dream are bad. Maybe the layoff will help them. They haven't played in, 4 or 5 days? Maybe that's what they needed. I mean, this team's not any good. I'm aware of it, but I can't lay this with Connecticut. All their star players are playing an insane amount of minutes. So I can't do this. The back-to-back anyway, which is not a good spot, and now you throw in the overtime wrinkle. I think 9.5 or 8.5 is just massive. I think on principle, I got to lean to Atlanta. They could easily lose because Atlanta's not any good, but just based on the energy advantage and the really bad spot for Connecticut, I think I got to go Atlanta. You? If it was 4.5, then maybe I'd lean to Connecticut, but this is a lot of possessions.
No.
For a team that's also not great offensively anyway. But
there we go. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't take Atlanta because of the fact what's really killing me is the fact that this team can't score. They cannot score the basketball, and at the end of the day, regardless of what happens with this game, the freaking
You kill a bug
Connecticut
live
Sun
on
are
the
going
show,
to
by
be.
the way.
You said what?
You just kill a bug live on the show.
Oh no, it wasn't a bug.
Okay,
But I
thought it
was
was a bug.
also no, it wasn't a bug. But I did see something that I thought was a bug, and I was trying to kill it, and then I pulled it closer, and I realized it was just a little piece of hair.
No.
I was scared though. I was trying to be calm.
I just saw you with a broom, and I'm like, I don't know if you
Yeah,
promoted
because
that
I'm like, is
beforehand.
that a bug? And I'm like, ew. And so I started hitting it. And then I also got my glasses on today, so I can't really see like that. I know I have my glasses on. You would think my eyesight gets better, but it doesn't. But yeah, it's a little piece of hair.
Those are reading
That's
glasses for the stats.
yeah, reading glasses for the stats. All right, back to what I was saying.
So you're saying the Dream can't score?
Yeah, I say in the Dream can't score, and I think that this is a spot where at least Connecticut is like, all right, bro, we played around with this Mystics team. Like, win or lose, we played around with this team. Like, we're not happy with the effort. We gave up 91 points to the Mystics, and now you're playing a Dream team that just like I just don't trust Tanisha Wright anymore. I really don't. I can't back this team anymore, especially not against Connecticut, who can in all absolute, like truly, even in a back-to-back, can lock down on defense and really make life hard for this Dream team. So I'm taking Connecticut. I'm laying 8. I can't do it.
It still bothers me. I know how much we love AT on this show. 1 for 5? Really? Like, can you?
I mean,
at least
she's.
look to the rim?
I mean, that's not surprising because some days that she doesn't score. Is some days she chooses to score, some days she doesn't.
I didn't say it was surprising. I just think it's annoying when your best player never looks to the rim.
Yeah, but I mean, 20 from Carrington, 20 from Harris, 20 from Bonner. That would have paid amazing, by the way.
Yeah, I mean they're getting a lot of great contributions.
They're getting.
She has 6 assists. I'm just throwing it out there that like it's kind of why I always think there's a ceiling to the Sun team. It's because their best player never really looks for her own shot. And I know that she is still a great rebounder and passer. I get that. But if you want to go and beat these top tier teams, you need your best player to at least look to the rim at least 10 times a game. And it just feels like AT doesn't do that enough. Is that a fair criticism?
Yeah, she doesn't. I admit she doesn't. She doesn't look for the look to score. It kind of just happens for a lot of times in transition, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Total for that game is set at wrong.
I see
game
153.
And 153.5. So total set at 153.5. I'm taking the under.
Yep, me too. Back to back, bunch of minutes, and we don't think the Dream can score either. So I like the under in the game.
Yeah. I would consider Connecticut team total over. I would consider it.
Off an overtime game, I would rather not even bother with any overs in this game.
I'm fine with it. They have it's an overtime game. They're flying charter back.
Are they flying charter back? From DC to Connecticut? They're flying charter?
Okay. Yeah. That's too long of it's not a drive. You're not making that drive from DC to Connecticut. No way. All right. Player props. Don't really have anything.
No, we got nothing. By the way, the Connecticut officially won by 3. AT went under the assists. I had 7.5 under. She had 6.
I even chased with 5.5, and they still didn't cover.
Shout out to Hines Allen, by the way. 8 of 8 from the floor tonight.
Perfect. All right. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Create 8 picks in one entry with Underdog pick 8, and it'll automatically double flex the entry. So you can miss up to 2 picks and still win your entry. Plus, the best part is that you can win up to 325 times your original amount. Make sure that you use that pick 8. And I mean, probably won't be able to drop an Underdog lineup because we don't have lines. But, hey, it's all good because I will tell you right now, for tomorrow, I'm 100% going to play DeWanna Bonner again. She had another great night tonight. I think that this is going to be the start of her getting back into form, looking a little more consistent. I took her points over this time around, and I think that it'll go over again, even on back-to-back, just because I don't think that Atlanta has anybody that can defend them, nor are they a really good defensive team or a good defense or a good team, period. So I'll be on the higher for DeWanna Bonner tomorrow in her points. don't need a line. I'm going to tell you, I'm already going to play her because I like the form she's been playing in night. Okay. Make sure you tap in. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN for that special pick and first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. Next game up on the docket, we have the Los Angeles Sparks on the road going to play the Phoenix Mercury. Line open up laying 10.5 is down to Mercury minus 10. 165.5 is the total. We have injuries as Lexi Brown is out indefinitely with her Crohn's disease. Prayers out to her. Hope everything is okay with her. They are expecting to reevaluate her after the All-Star break. They also have Laisha Clarendon is out with an illness as well. Suggs Sutton is not on the injury report, and that's about it that I have for that game. All right. Can anything? Yeah, yo, what's going on? Hey, you should really hop over to the YouTube chat instead of hanging out on X. You should slide over to YouTube, youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. You know, hey, we'll wait for you for a second. It's fine. Just go ahead, slide over youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. We're not actually going to wait, but it's okay because you can rewind a little bit. All right. Lane 10 with Phoenix at home against LA.
I'm going to. Oh, okay. I don't know where this joke's going, so.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, give me the Mercury.
Yeah.
I think the Mercury at home are, of course, a lot better than Mercury on the road. This team's gotten better since Griner came back. Sparks, I don't think have any answers on the interior. I know that Hamby's been solid this season, but Brink was a very solid defensive player. And have fun with Griner. With having basically no interior defense anymore. We know that the perimeter play can be fine if Nurse is on or if maybe Rakia has a good game, but there's just a little bit too much inconsistency with the backcourt for me when it comes to scoring, and the defense we know is not very good to begin with. And with Brink being out, I don't think they can stop anybody. But the Mercury, I think, are the better team here by a wide margin. They have the guard play. I know Tarazi's been kind of up and down this season, but fine for at least somebody in her position now with her age. But you're looking at really just the entire roster. And I think that they have pieces that can give the Sparks problems. Copper, we know, is solid. We also look at Cloud, who's a very solid point guard. Just a lot of pieces that I think the Sparks will have a hard time dealing with. So I'll go with Phoenix.
So there's a concern. And the concern is that the Sparks are 6-1 as a dog of 10 plus or more. Mercury have not been in this spot yet. Don't know how they respond as this large of a favorite. I can say that as a favorite, they are 1-2 this season. Well, yeah, as a favorite of 2.5 or more, they're 1-2.
Okay. Well, two are against the Liberty, with them getting doubled. That doesn't count. Liberty don't cover any double-digit numbers, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the last 5 games, they've gotten double-digit spread 4 times in those games, and they covered against the Liberty twice, Connecticut, and Minnesota.
I don't know how many of those they backdoored, though. Or they had a couple of backdoors.
I mean, regardless, they're all on the road.
Yeah.
There are, a cover's a cover. Like, I just, that's the thing that I'm concerned about is this at this point too many points? I don't think there's a concern of the Sparks winning the game, but do the Sparks come alive and make this close? And I'm going against my better effect. I'm going to go ahead and go with the injuries are just too much, and that this is a different Sparks team because now you have no Cam Brink. You now have no Lexi Brown, who is giving you outside shooting and defense coming off of the bench. You don't have Laisha Clarendon as well. So it's a lot missing for this team. And I think Phoenix is looking to get back in the win column and have a nice spot after that last game loss against Minnesota, where they were catching 5.5, lost by 13. So I'm going to take Phoenix with you. Lay to 10. I don't feel as confident as I would have liked to feel about that game, but I'll take Phoenix as well because ultimately I do think that, but they're by far the better team. So totals at 165.5.
I'm going to go with the over in this one.
I think, yeah, I mean, Phoenix has been one of the best offensive teams since Brittany Griner's come back. This Sparks team defensively, I think that they're taking a step back. If it wasn't already a step back with Cam Brink, it's definitely a step back with Lexi Brown out as well. And Phoenix could run the score up and just let them score up to 70 and this still gets over this total. So that's actually one of the better plays. I think there's multiple skirts, whether Phoenix covers the 10 or whether the Sparks cover the 10. I think the over gets there. So over 165.5 for me as well.
Yeah. I think either the Mercury get to 90 and change, or the Sparks actually look decent offensively.
Mhm.
As you said before, multiple ways to get there.
All right. Let's see. Play props. Nothing.
We should have props in this game.
You would think. I mean, they've had this entire time off.
And these teams aren't playing tonight. Yeah, we got no props. That sucks.
Wow. What? Come on, guys. This was a perfect game to have props out for. This is what? You've had weeks. All right. I would play Brittany Griner.
Me too.
Dang, I was gonna make Brittany Griner my lock. I've been eyeing that line and just waiting for it to drop. Dang it. All right. I'll have to figure something else out for the lock. Here we go. Before we get to Saturday's games, so knocked out Friday, we're going to get to Saturday's game. But before we do that, got to talk to you about Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, giving away $16 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Millions is a pick 5 where you pick 5 ATS team, 5 NFL teams each week against the spread, and you start just collecting your record. I mean, man, if they took my record from the WNBA, then I would be looking great for the Circa Millions. Here we are. $6 million is up for grabs in the Circa Millions. $10 million is up for grabs in Circa Survivor. If you survive the gauntlet all the way to the end, sign up in person at Circa Sports between now and September 7th. And you can use a proxy to play from anywhere. Make sure you go to footballcontestproxy.com to save $50 with our promo code SGP, footballcontestproxy.com, to get you a proxy for Circa Survivor and Circa Millions. And if you haven't booked the trip yet, well, August 22nd, August 24th is a good time to go. That is the ultimate contest weekend. Sean, Ryan, and a whole bunch of guys from the network, along with Circa, are going to be there with open bars and a whole bunch of fun. So make sure you go check out the greatest sports book in the world, Circa Sports. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Their WNBA features make it easier than ever to use data to bet all the WNBA this season. You can create custom betting models in seconds and get AI-backed betting recommendations for every single game. I'm about to fire up the Rhythm app right quick and see what Rhythm likes on the slate for tomorrow. Let's see. Rhythm hit on a couple of plays earlier. They hit on the over in the Wings and Lynx game. So shout out to Rhythm for that. Hey, there goes Rhythm looking at that under 51.53.5 for the Dream and the Sun. 60% win probability. They're expecting 149 points. All right. Make sure you tap in with Rhythm. You can get that, and you can get way more picks. Just go and get a 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right. Let's see here. Saturday in the WNBA, we have here Las Vegas Aces on the road going to play the Washington Mystics. Opened up 11.5. It's already up to 12.5 for the Aces. 169.5 is total. I think they're buying into this Mystics team and how close they were, and now trying to fade them all the way in against the Aces in this game. Scott, Aces offense look a lot better. It's going to be basically, this is going to depend on, can the Aces actually stop anybody? If they can get stops, and they had stops in that Sky game. In that second half, they went on a couple of runs, and that's really what ballooned the lead and gave them the cover. If they play something similar like that, then this should be an easy cover for the Aces as well. I like Aces laying 12.5 here.
I'm going to agree. I think we talked about it yesterday, and I said, would it shock you if the Aces won 12 straight? and I know we both said no. I just think the Aces are about to go on a massive run. And yes, they made some runs defensively in the game against Chicago. Still gave up 83. So not exactly a great defensive showing, but they had a couple moments when they needed to. The Mystics, they're not traveling, which is a bonus, and they are good. They are better at home than on the road. But they still are not just equipped to handle the star power that the Aces actually have. And I don't know what their answers are offensively. Dolson's been solid recently. She had 18 points again. Hines Allen, I said before, went 8 of 8 from the floor. Atkins played a bunch of minutes. She only had 10 points. I just don't think they have been. Yeah, she got hurt too, so I don't know if she's going to play or not. So we'll see what happens.
She should be. She returned to the game. It was a face injury. She returned to the game, but she did end up leaving that game for a little while.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but maybe she'll come out in a mask tomorrow. But still, point is, I just don't think the Mystics have enough firepower to match this Aces team. I'll go with the Aces. I don't think they're going to blow them out, but off an overtime game too, that's not a great spot for Washington. Yes, the Aces are traveling, but I do think Asia should do whatever she wants in this game. Chelsea Gray looks better and better each game. And you still have Jackie and Plum, who've kind of reverted back to being, I don't want to say complementary pieces because that sounds disrespectful to the two of them. But you get my point. They're solid options, and I don't think that the Mystics have enough talent to combat it. They're also banged up in the front court. We'll see what happens with Edwards and if she plays in this game. Feels like Austin's out every day, and we know Sykes is still out. Just to ask you, the Aces have the best blank players in this game. What number? It's at least 4. Is it more than 4? It's 4 minimum.
Yeah, 4 minimum. I guess you can I guess if you want to count Chelsea Gray in recent form, if you don't want to do that, but like the impact that she has on the floor is still felt. So like, I think it's by far it's the best 4. I just think that ultimately maybe this is still a Mystics first half play. Like maybe this is still a Mystics first half and they come out the first half still firing, cover 7.5. But just like in that Sky game tonight, I think the second half, where you have a Mystics team that is still one of the bottom teams in second half scoring this season, going to struggle to match the Aces runs. The Aces are going to have the runs. They're going to get them. Now the offense looks good. They're clicking, they're getting them and distributing the ball, and they have players on the bench that can help score as well. So it's like it's not just up to the core 4 to do the scoring. They have scores everywhere else as well. Like I think this is now Las Vegas revenge tour. The Las Vegas revenge tour, and we talked about it. If they won the next 12 to 20 games straight, we wouldn't be surprised. So here we go. Go ahead and start it. Another bad team, destroy them. Laying 12.5 with the Aces.
I like the over in this game in general.
I will just give me Aces team total over. It's at 90.5 at -125. Like, yes, I will take that every day of the week because I think that they're walking into 90 easily. I think they easily walk into 90. That's what this offense does. And if you're telling me this is the offense from last year and that's what it looked like tonight, they're easily walking into 90 in virtually every single game that's not against a top 5 team, defensive team.
Sounds right.
They're walking into 90. So that might be a lock as well. Las Vegas Aces team total over 90.5. That's all we got for this one. I'll tweet out a bunch of player props, guys. It's okay. I promise. I'll tweet out a bunch of player props over the next 2 days.
I mean, the books have done a better job of actually getting us early player props, and I understand these teams did play today, so I guess it's understandable why. It is pretty nuts. We have 4 games on the card, and we only have 1. Wait, do we have any with player props, actually?
No, I don't see any. Do you see any?
I was going to say, yeah, I don't think we have any. That's not good.
I'm just surprised that the Sparks and Mercury game doesn't. If there was any game, I thought it was that one.
That's one with no excuse because neither team played tonight. The others are like, all right, you know who's going to play. Maybe some minutes will be moved around or some players might sit. But no, as you said, both teams in that Sparks game did not play tonight. So why do we not have lines?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Dallas Wings on the road going to play the Seattle Storm. I do have lines for this, Scott.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, I do. The lines did come in. I have the Storm laying 8.5. 166.5 is the total. Storm laying 8.5. Yep, 166.5 is the total in that one. All right, we got the Wings off a win.
Camp Day helps them, right? Because they have more time to actually travel. That has to help them.
I mean, you can. I mean, you could say like if they. I don't know if they got on a plane today and left, but like that could be an angle. That could be an angle. What I will say, Scott, I'll say this: even though this was a different team, Seattle has Dallas has gone into Seattle. I gotta go further back because they've won the past two in Seattle, but I'm pretty sure back when Seattle was good, they were catching points and they won a game in Seattle too because I bet it. Let me go back and check that Storm Wings history here.
So while you pull that up, I am going to say it is tough to tell when you don't know how the Storm are going to look tonight. So this line might move heavily depending on if they look good or bad. Just keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me see here. Let's pull this up and see if I can get the. All right. No, that's not it. Come on, make this easy for me. All right, here we go. So yeah, Dallas won. This doesn't say who was home or right. I don't think this does. No, it doesn't. Great. No, wait. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So they've won. No, because that game's in Dallas. Oh, so the top team is the okay. The top team is the home team. Oh, okay. So they have won 2, 3. That's 1. That's 2, 3 straight in Seattle. What's that? This site sucks. Whatever. All right, I'm gonna try to figure it out. But either way, I've just know in my history, I've taken Dallas as pretty sizable dogs in Seattle, and they've cashed for me. Now, is this the opportunity that I want to do it? I'm not actually certain. I think if I play it anyway, I'm playing Dallas first half, and I'm gonna just continue with that. And they did cash that first half, by the way. Shout out to Dallas.
Nice run in the last 6 minutes. They were getting buried.
It was great. Back. Oh, it was so great. But ultimately, the thing that goes in Dallas's favor is that they were able to score with Odyssey Sims in the lineup, and that's what scares me is the fact that they were able to score against Minnesota's defense. And so if they're able to score against Minnesota's defense, what if they score against Seattle's defense? If they score against Seattle's defense, they're going to be live to win that game too. Like, especially, I think that this is a spot for Seattle. Like, this means everything to Dallas. I kind of want to, I don't know, Odyssey Sims. We didn't get the good Natasha Howard game. If Natasha Howard is on, this team looks better. Mo Billings is a dog around the glass coming off the pitch, yo. They got to release her rebounds props again. I think they stopped releasing them when she went to the bench, but like she's still killing on the glass, and that's actually incredible.
Well, I do want to ask you, since it's kind of more big picture, the Wings looked really good in the game after a really bad first quarter on Thursday. Nice, impressive comeback by them. We spent a lot of time on the show yesterday talking about how it was a letdown spot for Minnesota and how Minnesota won $500K in the Commissioner's Cup. And I brought up the idea that we have seen them no-show games before against the Sparks when they clinched a spot in the Commissioner's Cup final, and they immediately went down a bunch. Now, I had the wrong angle. I did a lean to the Wings first quarter money line with the Lynx to win the game. That didn't work out. I do want to ask you, though, what were your takeaways from that Wings game? Was it the Wings looking really good with Sims back, or was it Minnesota maybe playing with their food a little bit, looking a little bit out of sorts after winning $500K, or somewhere in between?
I think it's a little bit of in between, but I think the Wings I give the Wings all the credit. They look great. And at the end of the day, you don't score 90 points on just anybody in the WNBA. Let alone one of the top. Yeah, let alone one of the top teams. So, I mean, these are the games. These are the stereotypical Wings games that we missed from last year, where the Wings go get a win in a high-scoring game where we can bet the over. And so, Tierra McCowan had a good game, 17 and 12. Like, Enrique had a pretty solid, like it was a good game. That's 23 points is still a good game. It's just that she can, And so she was 5 for 8 from 3. Mo Billings again, 14 and 6, and you're telling me Odyssey Sims came off the bench and gave you 18 in her first game. I just I'm gonna take the points. I'm gonna take the points with Dallas. I think that the play that I want to sign up for that I can't get behind now, but the Fever and the conclusion of the Fever Storm game will let me know if I take Wings team total over. Because at the end of the day, again, 90 plus points, it is something, and you still didn't get the best contribution from your best players. And I think that it's going to be a battle on the inside with McGowan, with Natasha Howard going up against Ezzy and NECA. I think that's going to be a battle. You know, Jewel Lloyd and Enrique is a battle every single time. They're going to give each other buckets. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the Enrique 40 plus game that she gives the Storm, because she's been able to do that. They've had problem in years past stopping her. So yeah, give me the Wings plus 8.5. Wings team total over pending.
I'm going to agree. I'll go with the Wings plus 8.5. I think it's a good scheduling spot for them in comparison to Seattle. Now we'll see how Seattle's game against Indiana goes. I think playing the noon game is a pretty good deal, or the 1 o'clock game is a good deal for Dallas, because they get to travel potentially early. They get into Seattle quickly, and the Storm have to play a night game and then have another night game. So I do think it's a good spot for Dallas, and I think 8.5 is too many. Seattle, we know, is a great defensive team, but I do think they can be in line for a slip-up on a back-to-back. I don't believe they've played many back-to-backs so far this season. Dallas, I thought, might roll over. They were down 13 in the first quarter, gave up 28, and you thought, all right, here we go again. What?
Who's on a back-to-back?
The Storm.
No, this is Saturday.
Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Whoops. I forgot we were doing Friday and Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah, this Saturday.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, okay. Thank you for correcting me on that. I'm going to go with Dallas, though. I think that at the end of the day, the Storm are a team that we know is better based on how the season's gone. But I do think that Dallas is maybe being disrespected here. I mean, I know that they've been terrible, and I've been fading them the entire way. But I do think offensively, with Sims being back, they do have enough weapons to keep this game close. Seattle can win the game. It's different to win by 9. Like, I think that Dallas can hang in there, make it entertaining. Maybe they'll fall apart in the second half again, and they'll end up blowing the win. But I can see them looking like the Mystics tonight, where, you know, you hang around, you give a good team some problems, you fall a bit short, but you still cover. I can see a similar story here.
We have the back-to-back game set between this Wings and Storm team in Seattle for these 2 games. That hopefully we cash the system, take the dog wins the first game, and then the favorite comes in the second game and absolutely destroys them. I would love for that to come through again. All right. Anything on the total?
I'm going to lean over. Dallas can score again. They still can't guard anybody. So I'll go with the over. Seattle's a good defensive team. I'm aware of it. But I do think Dallas, with the just extreme lack of defense, is going to be able to drag the total up single-handedly. I don't think the Storm are going to play slow and turn down good wide-open shots if they get them early in shot clock situations. I still don't think Dallas is a good defensive team. So I'll go with the over.
I love Wings at the Storm. If the Storm, I'm not placing this now, but if the Storm dog the Fever like I think they are going to, this line is going to go up. And if I'm getting Wings at double digits in this game by the time Saturday comes around, absolutely taking that. All right. Player props. Let's see here. For my lock, let's go with, I'm kind of sold on that Aces team total. I think that's going to be it. Yeah, man. Give me that Aces team total 90.5.
Is minus 110? Minus 110?
Minus 125.
Okay.
A little bit of juice there, but it's short, man. It's short. This team's going to walk into 90 almost every single night against weak competition. Like, they're going to walk into 90. And so with Chelsea Gray, and now she's in the starting lineup. It's not like she's coming off the bench anymore. She was in the starting lineup tonight. She's going to be in the starting lineup again for this game. And that's just going to tell me, especially against the Mystics team that is down defensively, that there's going to be a lot of opportunities she's going to create for everybody on the floor. They now have Elisha Clark. They have who's having a revenge game in this game, by the way. They have Kate Martin and they have Tiffany Hayes. Tiffany Hayes, all of them coming off the bench. That's additional scoring, even in the quote unquote garbage time minutes. So, yeah, I'm all over the aces here. Over 90.5 for the team total. That's my lock. For my dog,
Wings?
I will take
First half?
wings. I will take wings. However, I will avoid, even though they didn't win it outright in this past game, maybe that comes back for them and they win it outright this time around. 7-3, by the way, are the Wings on the road in the first half. 7-3 ATS. So I'm going to bet the Wings in the first half on the money line for my dog. That's going to come out to plus 225.
All right. So for the lock, I am going to go with Phoenix. Give me the Mercury minus 9.5. Sparks, by the way, I mentioned are bad on the road. To go into detail, they're 1-9 on the road. They're a horrible road team. Phoenix this season at home 6-2, which should not be that surprising because they've been a great home team for years and a really bad road team for years. This game's in Phoenix. We saw them face off at the Commissioner's Cup earlier this year, and the Mercury did win that one by 19. I think the Sparks scored like 24 points in the first half of that game. So 22 points in the first half of that game. So I think the Sparks are just not a good team. We know with them being injured now, it's not going to help. Phoenix, when healthy, has a lot of weapons, and they are a very good home team. I'll fade the 1-9 team on the road again. Give me the Mercury minus 9.5 as my lock. For my dog, I actually might take Dream first half. I think the Dream are actually in a really good spot here.
That's a horrible first half team.
I know, but it's mostly just not liking Connecticut's recent form. I really think Connecticut's vulnerable for an upset in this game. And I know how bad the Dream are. I know the Dream are a horrible team. I'm not going to tell you that they're good. But a back-to-back with overtime, the other team didn't play. It is a really good spot. I don't trust the Dream to keep it together for an entire game, though. So I'll go with the Dream first half. Give me Dream first half money line at plus 225.
All right. 225 dogs for us on the slate. 2 first half dogs for us on the slate. Can I put a parlay together that I feel? Okay, let's do this. We will. All right, here's your parlay. Aces, laying 12.5. Sparks, Mercury over 165.5.
Okay.
Dream Sun under 153.5.
Okay.
There you go. Dream Sun under 153.5. Sparks Mercury over 165.5. And Aces laying 12.5 on the road. It's going to be about 560 on the parlay there. We don't have underdog for you. So, Scott, anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
Not really. A bunch of people showed up for the live stream, so appreciate all of you. And we're back once again, when? Saturday or Sunday?
Shout out to the 47 people that are on your page, your X page, Scott.
Yeah, I might have put out a tweet, a retweet of the actual live stream for my Twitter. And I basically said, if you don't want to watch two dinosaurs debate, check out the WNBA live stream. And apparently it was a good tweet because people just popped in. So there we go.
Oh, man. Okay. For everybody on YouTube, make sure you like the video before you get up out of here. Appreciate it. And drop us a comment if you're catching the back end of it. And for everybody via podcast, please leave us a 5-star rating and review. Other than that, that's it. We'll see you in a couple of days. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast, just to end it like this. We are out of here.